Hello and welcome to today's episode of Community Connections, airing right here on OROMIA11. Today's guest is a very special guest here in the Twin Cities. She is the Executive Director of the Office of Admission for Undergrad Higher Education at the University of Minnesota. Now we are going to talk all things early admissions, deadlines, and how we can get you one step closer to getting your foot in the door at the University of Minnesota. This is going to be a wonderful episode you won't want to miss. I am so excited to have you joining me here today, Keri, on this episode of Community Connections. For those of you that may be unfamiliar, I have Keri Risic here, and she is the Executive Director of the Office of Admissions for Undergrad Education. It is so wonderful to have you join me.
Thank you for having me here today. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, for people that are unfamiliar, can you talk about what the work of admissions is? I know some people may know and hear it on the front end and think it's how you get into school, but after that, you guys provide so much other assistance to scholars that are interested in attending the University of Minnesota.
Absolutely. We have the pleasure of coordinating the outreach, recruitment, and enrollment of new incoming students to the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. We have a team of admissions professionals who visit high schools. They attend various college fairs, visit community colleges, community events, and really support students in their pursuit of higher education. We have opportunities for students to learn about the university, and our team of admissions professionals is there to support students all along the way throughout that journey, whether it be questions about the application process or learning about the university. We have a dedicated team of staff that are available and meeting with students off campus and on campus, and really there to support students in the college search.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, according to the to Minnesota Department of Health, the Office of Higher Education, there's roughly about 400,000 incoming freshmen attending state schools and or post-secondary education across our state. What does those numbers kind of look like for you all at the University of Minnesota?
Well, you know, this fall, just yesterday was the start of classes at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, and we welcomed over 7,300 new first-year freshmen and over 1,700 transfer students. Most of our students, about 2/3 of our newly enrolled incoming students, are from Minnesota, and we also have students joining us from all across the country and across the globe, and just a terrific group of new students that have started in the university community as Golden Gopher Scholars, and we're really excited about it.
That is such an exciting number to hear. Now, there's a lot of people who were entering college or mid-transition throughout COVID-19, and numbers have declined a little bit during that time and are back on the rise. How hopeful do you feel about that as Executive Director, trying to navigate to not only keep interest but also keep momentum going for people that are still interested in pursuing a wonderful education?
Yeah, that's really what excites us. You know, we have a team of staff that are really passionate about higher education and really getting out there and telling our story, talking about the university, the world-class education available to students right here at the University of Minnesota. And so it's really exciting to get out there and talk with students early in their high school years. And if they're just, you know, approaching their senior year, this is a great time to start to dig into those applications. And we're here to support students and their families and supporters. We also work with a number of high school counselors in the high schools, as well as a number of community-based organizations. So there's a lot of partnership and collaboration that we work together to support students in that pursuit of higher ed.
I think that's the only way that you really can attain the goals that you guys are.
Absolutely.
By working with other groups outside and within the university to retain and hold interest like we discussed before.
Right.
Now, you mentioned a little bit earlier about national enrollment, and then we have international enrollment at the University of Minnesota.
That's right.
Now, for somebody that's interested in taking the first step of maybe reaching out to you guys or starting to look at schools, what is a good starting point for them?
Well, a great starting point for students who are high school seniors is really to apply for admission. Our freshman application becomes available in August. August 1st, we launched the applications this year. So it's a great time for high school seniors to dig in, get that list going if you haven't started one already. If you're a younger student, it's a great time also to visit campuses and start to be, thinking about visiting, making an official visit to the university and other campuses to get a feel for the type of school that you might be looking for, whether that's close to home or far away, the size of the campus. I think a great starting point, again, is, for high school seniors getting into the application, and for some of the younger students, even just checking out our website, connecting with our admissions team and admissions staff and asking any questions that you might have. We're here to support students in that space.
Now, outside of someone coming onto campus and touring with an appointment, of course, I know we definitely want to make sure we take care of that because you guys have amazing tours and we have such a scenic campus right here in our very own backyard.
Absolutely.
What would be one of the initial steps that you feel like someone that maybe is a non-traditional student, so they're not waiting around for graduation per se, to start to look at what interests them and what resources are available to them?
Yeah, we have a lot of great resources. Our website is a great resource for students. We post a lot of information on the website. We also have an Instagram account and post updates there with information for students. But really contacting our office is also a great step. We have a great team of admissions professionals who are here to really support students, and that's what they're passionate about. So don't hesitate to contact us directly. Visiting campus, as I mentioned already, is a great first step. We also offer virtual tours and appointments. So there are opportunities for students to check us out virtually and then also make a trip to campus as well.
I think that is wonderful. We know that we live in a day and time where we have scholars that are experiencing disabilities, some of them physical, some of them mental and emotional, and sometimes it seems very daunting to try and make it out of your home to go and tour a large campus, and some of us don't have the capacity to do so. So I think virtual tours are so helpful to address all the needs of all scholars that we hope to retain.
That's right. We want to be, accessible, and there are a variety of ways for students to engage with our campus, with our staff, and whether that's, virtual appointment or visit or coming on campus. Even text messaging and phone calls are a great opportunity too, and we certainly are emailing students as well. So many levels of communication channels.
Now, we've talked about checking out the website, maybe looking at the social media handle. You guys are on Instagram, which I love so much. And we've talked about signing up for potential tours. And you mentioned a little bit about applying. Outside of that, what are some of the deadlines and or points of attention people should be paying early on so that they can start to get the ball rolling? Because I know there's going to be someone who probably reaches out to us that says, okay, I've done some of those things, but what else may I not be aware of up front?
Sure. Yeah, a couple of tips, definitely pay attention to application deadlines. There are a variety of deadlines that colleges maintain for applications. So pay attention to those deadlines. Don't be late.
That's right.
Get your applications in on time. The other thing is really pay attention to the application materials. What's required in an application. Make sure when you're submitting the application that it's complete and that it is accurate and that you've checked every item that needs to be submitted. And don't hesitate to contact the admissions offices if you have questions about that. The other thing I'll mention is pay attention to the email address that you use when applying to different colleges and universities, because we use that email address to communicate with students. We might follow up with information about any additional materials that might be needed. We post our admission decisions out on our application tracker, and so we'll email students to the email address that they provided on the application. The other reason why we really encourage students to check their email, and in fact, if possible, when possible, use a personal email address. If a student utilizes their school address, they might not have access to it during the summertime. So if a student has access to a personal email, we would encourage them to use that in their application submissions.
I think that's really good advice. I don't think we always necessarily think about that. It's like, I've had it for all this time, and then that chapter is over, and you no longer have access, but you're wondering, when is my admissions appointment at school?
Right. We've started to, share that in materials that we're sending out to students, and happy to, work with students in that space.
I think that's wonderful. Now, we both know that this is an election year, and we have our very own Governor Tim Walz running for vice president currently. But I don't think a lot of people really know how great our footprint is in education here in Minnesota. And we have so many opportunities, not only for first generation students, continuing ed students, but the list goes on and on for resources, for grants, for small groups to plug into that'll assist you to try and figure out the fiscal, maybe worrisome points of trying to delve into higher ed. Can you just kind of speak to anyone that is probably going, that's a large amount of money when they look at what tuition fees are right now?
Sure, right. And cost is a big factor in the college search process, and we're also here to support students and work with our colleagues who work in our One-Stop Student Services Office, which is a dedicated team of professionals who specialize in financial aid, financial literacy, and supporting students in that space. So we've got a great team and collaboration between our admissions office and our One-Stop Student Services. So there are folks available to help support students in that space. We definitely encourage students to submit the free application for federal student aid, that they might be eligible for any state or grant aid. We're really excited about the North Star Promise program, which provides last dollar in tuition support for families making a family income of up to $80,000, and that's one of the new state programs, and we're really excited to be a part of that program as the University of Minnesota. We also, through the admissions office, when students apply for admission, they're automatically considered for our academic scholarships. So in addition to need-based financial aid, we also award scholarships that are based on academic performance, involvement, and all sorts of great aspects that students bring to the university. In our review of admission decisions, we have a lot of academic scholarships that are available to students as well. So a variety of support to help students make that financially feasible, and we think we have just a great value of an education at the university and are happy to support students along all of those steps as well.
I appreciate you for sharing that, because I know someone, as they're probably watching this at home, is going, I don't know where I'm going to come up with the money. And I am one of 3 siblings. We're stair-step, and I know that my parents did not have the money right away. And so I wanted to give an encouragement to somebody out there that's going, I don't know if I can do this. You can, and there are tons of resources here. We are truly in a very fortunate position and an amazing state that helps support us as you try to close out your education, or you dare to begin your education right here in Minnesota.
Absolutely.
And a very special shout out to all of the amazing people at One Stop that are helping our scholars probably right now as we speak navigate
I would
their
imagine
financial experience is going to look like.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Now, Keri, share with us just one program or service that you all offer at the admissions office that people probably don't take advantage of.
Well, I mentioned, a variety of communications. One that I think students don't take advantage of as often is contacting us. And if a student is stuck on the application, they're not sure what to do next, don't hesitate to call us. Don't give up. Continue and give us a call, and we'll be glad to support you and help troubleshoot with any questions that you might have about the application. We enjoy doing that. So if you get hung up on one aspect of the application, give us a call, and we'll help support you to completion.
I love that so much. Now, one of the last questions I have for you, please provide somebody with the physical address for the University Office of Admissions location and a phone number for them to reach out and give a call. We're going to also provide the links with this episode so that those that may not be watching in real time can double back and familiarize themselves.
Yeah, so students can contact us. They can find us in Williamson Hall. We're also located in Jones Hall, 240 Williamson Hall, 231 Pillsbury Drive, Southeast, Minneapolis. And our phone number is 612-625-2008. And we're excited to welcome students and visit students, whether it be on campus or virtually, and excited to have contact with students.
Thank you so much. Keri, let me know, how do we support scholars in our network that have interest in attending college?
I would say, we are, connecting with students in the community. We're visiting schools. We're, in many different places. So connecting with the admissions office is a great first step. I mentioned a couple of things in terms of campus visits. We do, a 30-minute information session. We also host campus tours that are led by current students. So connecting, with a current student is a great opportunity as well for students, and we can help facilitate that. We also host a number of campus events, and I haven't mentioned this previously. Some of the events are really to support high school seniors who are just working to complete applications, and then we have other events that are really focused on supporting younger students, 9th and 10th grade students. And in fact, we have an entire team of staff and students that really focus on our outreach, college access outreach, working with those 9th and 10th grade students. So we've got some fun programs that we host. We have Goldie's Early Access Pass, which is a great event for 9th and 10th grade students, and some other programs that are really specialized for younger audiences. So a great, variety of opportunities for students to engage with us.
I love how it sounds like some type of VIP something.
Yeah,
like
right.
Goldie's Early Access. It's like, oh my goodness, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah,
like what's going on over there.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the 9th and 10th grade community that have interest in going off to school. Now, I'm going to have you look directly in this camera and please give a personal invitation to someone that may be watching this and going, I've been waiting to figure out what I'm going to do or to take the next step for my education, and just let them know how they best can start that journey.
Well, first of all, we are so excited that you're thinking about college and university study. We encourage you to connect with the university, connect with our admissions office. And my name's Keri Risic. I serve as executive director, and we have a great team of staff that are passionate about higher education, love working with students, their families and supporters. So definitely check us out, connect with our website, make sure to request information. If you're not getting information from us already, you can do so by clicking on the request for information at the top of our website, and also join us on campus virtually for a visit or for one of our specialized visit programs coming up. We can't wait to welcome future Gophers.
Thank you so much for joining me, Keri. I really appreciate it. I know you are very busy, but this has been a wonderful conversation, and I hope that has sparked the interest of someone watching this at home.
I hope so. Thank you for the opportunity. It's been great to be here, and really appreciate the opportunity to come and talk and encourage students to pursue higher ed.
Wonderful.
Great.
Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for today's guest, Keri Risic, and the amazing team at the Office of Admissions for Undergrad Education. I just want to say that I am so inspired by the work that is taking place and encouraged by every one of you scholars that has dared to take a step to further your education. As we know, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. As always, I am your host, Anna Orr, and this has been another episode of Community Connections, airing right here on OROMIA11. As always, I look forward to connecting again with you soon.
Akkuma beekamu yeroon kun yeroo daa'imman mana barnootaatti deebi'an. Kanaafis qophaa'uun barbaachisaadha. Qophaa'insa keessan keessaa kan hafuu hin qabnee fi inni guddaan ijoolleen keessan talaallii yeroo isaa eeggate fudhachuu isaanii mirkaneeffachuudha. Talaallii yeroo eeggate fudhachuun barnoota irraa akka hin hafne, ispoortii fi wantoota yeroo barnoota booddee ijoolleen keessan irratti hirmaatan irra akka hin hafne, hojii guyyaa gara guyyaatti hojjettan irraas akka hin hafne, walga'ii maatii fi jireenya hawaasummaa irra akka hin hafne isin gargaara. Nagaa daa'imman keessanii eeguudhaaf ogeessa eegumsa fayyaa keessan waliin mari'adha. Yookiin kilinika talaallii bilisaa keenya marsariitii magaalaa Minneapolis irratti ilaala. Maatii keessan fayyaa taasisa. Ergaa dhaabbata fayyaa magaalaa Minneapolis irra.